Hi guys, it's me and I'm back with our third edition of Our Story. If you haven't seen the other two clips, pause this one and go and watch the first and the second one. I'll include a link below so that you can find it easily, but this third one's not going to make sense to you if you haven't watched the other two, so give this a pause, go watch those and come back and join us. Can you believe my wedding is a month and a half away? I cannot believe it. Kent and I have been together for 5 years, engaged for 5 years. We have a house, we've traveled together. He's 35, I'm 28. We've kind of lived our life together. So this is pretty exciting for us to be getting married, and it's kind of been a long time coming, and I cannot believe that it's only a month and a half away. But because it's so soon, I really want to continue with these stories. I want to document our story for me and Kent so that we have something to kind of look back on in the years, and I enjoy sharing it with you. So I'm back again to get this rolling. Things got a little busy and life got crazy, so I kind of took a break for a couple weeks, but I am back. So let me just get started. Basically, I was starting in my program where we last left off. My TEFL program was a month-long, intense course. And they put you through a grammar program and a teaching program, and they teach you how to teach a foreign language to students. Basically, students, well, I was teaching English, and so English was obviously not their first language, so that's what I was there to help them with. Now, you guys have been reading my blog. No, I am probably the worst speller you'll ever meet. I have awful grammar, but I can talk to the cows come home, and I can communicate fairly well. So that was something that I was able to help my students with, and that's what they needed help with. They were taught English at a very young age. Their grammar was exceptional. Their spelling was phenomenal. They were awesome in those areas. And that's something that they were taught from a young age, but what they needed help with was their spoken English. There was no one for them to kind of practice with, or no one for them that spoke fluently the language. So they kind of were getting taught, I don't know how to say it, but they were probably getting taught by someone who wasn't really well versed in the subject. So that's what I was there for. So I went to my program for a month to learn how to teach them and help assess them and their English needs. And I had so much fun, and school was just what I needed. I was a little homesick when I first got there, but when I first started my training, it's intense. I mean, I was there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10:45, 11 o'clock at night, every single day of the week except for on the weekends. And even on the weekends, sometimes I would just go in to offer and help out for fun, but it was pretty intense. And in the evenings, the school that I was learning at, I'm so sorry, I don't know why my nose always itches when I do these. It must be like a nervous tick or something. So the school that I was learning at would invite locals, and these would be people who kind of have a little bit of knowledge of English and maybe just want to kind of practice. They would invite them in for free. It was just kind of something they would do for the community. So they would get to come in, and then we would also have the students who were learning to speak English. And these students that I'm talking about, they're not the ones that I went and taught later down the road. These are more adults who were put in this school to learn English for their workforce or for their own needs. Their job was paying for it or something like that. So, and they were usually a lot older than what I was working with whenever I went out and taught English. But they were actually awesome. They're phenomenal. I was shocked at how well some of them were in their speaking. But basically what we would do at the end of the night, the locals would come in, and then the students who were paying to be taught English at the school would gather, and we would do kind of a little seminar, and we would pick a song. Every week there's a different song, and it seems like all the time we always, Hey Jude was a really common one. You know, hey Jude, do 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 do, and make it better. Sorry, cover your ears. But every time I hear that song on the radio, it takes me back big time. So they would play the song and have a projector with the words going, and then all the students would sing, and that would be a really great way for them to not only hear the words, but then be able to put the written words together at the same time. And then after that, we'd break off into groups. And basically what they would do is they would take all the TEFL teachers, which I was a TEFL teacher, and they would tell the group a little bit about you. So as for an example, they would say, oh, and here's Kendra. She's 21 years old, and she's from Dallas, Texas, and she loves to craft, and blah, 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 whatever. And then the next person would come up and they would say, oh, this is Paul. He's from the UK. He loves cars. You know, so they would just kind of tell your hobbies. And then the students would pick a teacher to go to practice their speaking. And I was always so nervous that nobody would pick me. It's kind of like in elementary school when you have to divide into sports and you're kind of like, you know, the last one getting picked. I was always so worried that would happen because I just, you know, I don't know. I don't know that I have so much interesting to tell someone in another culture about myself. But really, they just kind of want to know about your lifestyle, where you come from, and what your world's like back home whenever you're, you know, with your family and all that kind of stuff. But it always worked out. I always had people come to my room. I was never left alone, so that was always good. But it didn't get old. I mean, every single time, every single night of the week I did this. Every single night of the week I was nervous that nobody was going to pick me and come talk with me. But it worked out. And basically we would just kind of gather in a room and just chat. And they would tell me that I'm not allowed, well, not the students, but my teachers would tell me I'm not allowed to talk about drugs, sex, politics, and religion. So we would talk about anything and everything but those topics. One night we kind of talked about the weirdest things that they've ever eaten. And we all went around the circle and told a story about something that we ate that would be considered different or odd. And that's always interesting. And they always kind of wanted to talk about politics, but I was not allowed to, so I would kind of like skirt around the topic. And one time I did this, which was really stupid. I decided to play telephone. I have no idea why. I don't know what I was thinking. I think it was the end of the week and I was tired and I was like done with creativity. I couldn't think of anything else for us to do or games to play or whatever, so I suggested telephone. So we went around a circle. You know how to play telephone. And at the very end there was an older gentleman and he got very upset and he stood up and said, I'm not here to play games. If I wanted to play games I would stay home. In broken English, he pretty much said that, and then he walked out. Oh, I felt so, it was embarrassing, and it was a wake-up call because, duh, these people are not here to play games. This is serious for them. They are learning English because, I mean, some of them it could be a hobby, but some of them want to better their lives with another language that could take them further in their job. I don't know what I was thinking. So stupid. So I never played telephone again. That was the last time I played that, but people continued to come back to me after that. No one else left and everyone else had a good time playing telephone, but that guy taught me a lesson and that's okay. I probably needed to hear it. And he never came back to my speaking group ever again after that. But I saw him there a lot. He never visited me. Anyway, so I finished my month out in my TEFL program. I made really great friends with my other teachers and my roommates who were locals, which I talked to you about in the other clips. We traveled a lot. I tried anything and everything I could get my hands on. I told my friends not to tell me what I was eating because I didn't want to make my mind up about it before I ate it. I wanted to give everything a try. So I had some delicious food that I probably wouldn't have allowed myself to eat if I knew what it was. But it was really good, so just try stuff. Give everything a try once because you might like it before you make your mind up about it. So I think I'm rambling a little bit, and this is probably getting a little bit long, so I will stop here. And next week I'm going to pick up and I'm going to tell you a couple stories about something that happened to me while I was coming home one evening, and it was a little scary. Yeah, so I'll pick up with that next time, but hopefully this wasn't too bad, too ramble-ish, because I ramble a lot. Hope you guys are having a really great end of your weekend, and have a great week next week, and I'll be back next Sunday with another clip. Okay, bye-bye.